excuse me. All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Easy Money, a sports betting show, Monday, December 5th, 2022. Ugh. Got a few games today, not a big slate of games today as we usually have on a Monday, but
No.
not too big of a slate. I'm Chris Gonzalez, joined by my dad, Tony Gonzalez. How's it go?
Not too bad. I'm not feeling the Monday night game tonight. Are you?
I mean, it might be okay just because both teams have been struggling, but yeah, it's not.
I think after the beating we took last night in the fourth quarter, and there were some good games yesterday, though. There were some really good football games yesterday, and
Yeah, we didn't get to watch a whole lot of them because we was busy with.
And the one that we did watch, the first three quarters was all right, but the last quarter was pretty
That's why
awful.
I was trying to explain to Jay on that show. He goes, it was just we just killed you guys in the second half. No, you killed us in the fourth quarter. You got
21, it was 21-19. We had a chance we had a 2-point conversion to tie the game going to the fourth.
Yeah, Cowboys didn't score in the third quarter.
No,
Colts was the only one that scored third quarter. Looked like it was going to be a real close game, and then in the fourth quarter, we gave up 33 unanswered points or whatever. It was just fourth quarter was a disaster.
Oh, yeah, disaster. Nothing went right, and you can blame it on a lot of things. But I think mostly, a lot of it. I know. Looking on Facebook and internet and different things, Matt Ryan gets all the blame as usual, and I think he does get some of the blame definitely. But the offensive line and everything. I mean, we was everybody was falling. It was a team. The team just fell apart in the fourth quarter. That was a team loss.
And fumbles and interceptions. I mean, just like I said, look, we were looking good through three quarters. Pretty good, you know what I mean? Pretty good. Down by 2, thinking that if we can get a stop and maybe get score and take the lead, and never know what's going to happen. Then
I don't know.
After that, it just was
I don't know if there is a clear-cut favorite in the NFL right now, Chris. I know most people are going to say Philadelphia, and I think with the record and they had a good performance yesterday against Tennessee and shut down Tennessee's running game. So you got to give them a lot of credit for that. And I don't know that you can make them a favorite. You got to prove it in the playoffs, and they'll get that opportunity, and especially if they can get that number 1 seed. But they still got to play Dallas again, and we'll see. I think Dallas is looking awful good. I really thought San Francisco was the team to beat in the NFC, but now with that big injury to Garoppolo, that definitely changes things. That don't mean they still can't do well, but there's no doubt about it. You lose the guy that's won all the games basically there in San Francisco in the last few years. You gotta, it's definitely going to change things. Bengals looked really good yesterday. Some people thought Kansas City. I tell you what, Buffalo might get right at the right time. Now to me, I think right now they're the number 1 seed in the AFC again because they beat. I think they're tied record with Kansas City, but they beat Kansas City. So I think as of right now, they would be the number 1 seed. And I don't know too many teams want to go to Buffalo and play this time of year. So
and it looks like Cincinnati's starting to get right at
getting hot like they did last year at the right time, and they're a dangerous team. So it should be a lot of fun and interesting.
Well, I didn't really even realize it until yesterday, but Joe Burrow's 3-0 against the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes.
Since, like you said, Cincinnati's defense, they match up well with Kansas City for whatever reasons. They've got a game plan and it works pretty good, and they've got the offense that can stay with Kansas City. Buffalo's got that. It's more like a shootout. Tennessee matches up well with them. I thought Tennessee might match up well with Philadelphia, but I was totally wrong on that.
Yeah, no, I thought that was going to be a lot closer game than what it was.
I was totally wrong on that.
There must not have been a whole lot of backlash about Watson yesterday because I haven't heard a whole lot about it.
The thing of it is, Cleveland scored, but they didn't score offensive touchdowns.
Yeah. Scored defensively. Kind of like, Cowboys scored offensively because it was because of Colts turnovers and defense in that fourth quarter that really killed us.
Yeah, the days collapsed. But it was a pretty interesting day in football. Giants and Washington tied, and that could be huge
Yep.
at the end of the year for both those teams.
They play each other again.
In a good way or a bad way. I mean, you just don't know.
They play each other again here in a couple weeks, and you have Lamar Jackson's hurt for the Ravens now. The Ravens were right up there in that division.
Yes. Now, who's their backup?
Huntley.
They might be able to put a game plan in there.
He hasn't played bad when he's
Baltimore.
been in there.
Baltimore's defense is going to have to step up. I mean, their defense is going to have to step up and help keep them in games and give them opportunity to win. If their defense don't step up, they're going to be in trouble. Of course, they played pretty well yesterday, but they weren't playing a great offense.
And with them, their biggest thing though on defense has been the fourth quarter as well. I mean, it seems like they play pretty good the first three quarters, and they get in the fourth quarter and can really struggle.
My thing is, I know you guys talked on the afternoon show about quarterback situation and whether they should pay him. I think they should pay him, and I know some people say, and I think you have said this too, that they should pay Roquan Smith. I don't know, man. I think you need to worry about Jackson and worry about getting him some weapons in there, some weapons to help, or you're not going to do anything.
No, I agree. I just think they're going to pay Smith because I don't think they brought him. They gave up what they gave up to get him in that trade.
But I mean,
for a rental.
Let's look at it from this point of view. If you're Jackson and they run Roquan Smith in and they pay him now, who's just been there, first year or half a year? Was he there at the start of the year? No. So when he was there at the start of the year and they don't pay you, I mean, you're still getting a lot of money, don't get me wrong, as a franchise. Do you maybe set out?
I wouldn't, just because we haven't seen it work out good for players that have set out. I mean, Le'Veon Bell set out because he wanted out, and his career went down. We just haven't seen it. To me, it's just so hard to set out a whole season in the NFL and come back. I understand that you're upset and you want that security of having multiple year contract, but I think it's going to be in like the Kirk Cousins situation, like Washington did with Kirk Cousins. They're going to franchise tag him, and then I wouldn't be surprised if he don't end up somewhere else after next season. Then could be that team we're looking at right there, the 49ers.
Well, that's the thing. If you think, okay, let's say if Jackson gets that feeling though, hey, they're going to play me. I could get hurt, and they're probably going to trade me and let me go. And who knows who I'm going to end up with. Or if they just let you go and you can sign somewhere, that may be a different story. But why not set out a year? He's got money. He can't be hurting for money. And set out a year, and then you can go wherever you want to go, and not taking that risk of getting hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, I see, all sides of it. I understand.
I could see the 49ers making a move for him if he does come available, because I don't think from what I'm hearing, they're not sold on Lance.
I think Jacksonville, or not Jackson, excuse me. I think they would be interested in him, and I think I know Tennessee just got a young player, but how could you not be interested?
Oh yeah,
and so a guy like him, and what about even maybe somebody like that? I know Pittsburgh Steelers just got somebody. But could you imagine him in a Pittsburgh Steelers uniform?
Yeah, especially with that defense they have.
Yeah.
That's what with the 49ers with their defense.
Colts defense.
Yeah. The Colts they're definitely going to have to do something at the quarterback position. I don't know when it's going to be, if that's what they're going to try to do in the draft, or if they're planning.
But wouldn't it be smarter for Baltimore to trade him? I mean, if they don't think they're going to sign him, wouldn't it be smarter to trade him and get something for him? Because you could get a lot for him. I mean, that would be a massive deal.
Yeah. Numbers went down a bunch.
Well, not that much, did it? They said make the playoffs 90%. When the division went down a lot, of course the conference and that. But as far as winning the division, it stayed pretty high.
Yeah, but
that's all. I mean, you don't know. What if Purdy comes in and goes nuts? But the thing of it is, they're going to that's going to be the thing hard for them. I think make the playoffs, maybe win a playoff game, but to win a division, win the divisional championship game, and make it to the Super Bowl, dumbing down
Yeah.
your offense. Usually, a quarterback's got to make some plays. Maybe he can. I mean, he didn't look bad. I mean, he looked good when we come in. It wasn't like he came in and
Yeah.
the game was already over.
No.
I mean, he was 25 or 37 for 210 yards and 2 touchdowns, had an interception, and a lot of people liked Miami's defense. I wasn't near sold on Miami defense. Some
He
people.
basically played the whole game. He played 11 and 12 drives.
Yes.
So, I mean,
Yeah. And you got to feel bad for Garoppolo.
yeah. Had a team that wanted to get rid of you, then you end up the guy that were going to place you got hurt. You come back in, you're playing good, and
playing great. Maybe going to still have a future with a team, or definitely going to be teams interested in you.
Yeah. Only reason there wasn't a whole lot of interest for him this season was because he was coming off that shoulder surgery. Yeah. But tonight we have the Saints at the Bucks. Bucks are 3-point favorites, minus 184 in the money line. Over-unders at 41.5. I like the Bucks to win this game. I like the under the 41.5 as well. The Saints average scoring 20 points per game, and they average giving up 23 points per game. The Bucks average scoring 18 points per game, and they average allowing 18 points per game.
Now, you know this could probably be a 35-34 game now since you said that.
Yeah, it could.
I like Tampa Bay and the -3 also.
Oh, it could end up being, but both these defenses are decent, so I don't think it's going to be a real high scoring game. No, don't get me wrong. I hope Tom Brady throws 3 touchdown passes and all 3 of them to Evans, because I need that to happen for my fantasy team tonight. But
let me ask you a question real quick. It's off topic. Back to the 49ers. You can't make you still can make trades, correct? But it has to pass through waivers.
No, you can't make no trade deadlines over. You can sign guys that aren't signed on a team.
Okay. I didn't know if it was like some things where you could still do stuff, but they'd have to pass through waivers and nobody pick them up, that type of deal. I didn't know if that.
I think you can just sign players that's been released, and you might be able to sign players off practice squads.
Yeah, you can sign players because they got that Josh Johnson off another practice.
Yeah, but you can't make no trades. All right, then that's the only NFL game tonight. Got a few NBA games tonight. Clippers out to Hornets. Clippers are 4-point favorites, minus 172 on the money line. Hornets are plus 144 on the money line. Over-unders at 216.5. I like the Clippers on the road against the Hornets. Clippers are just a better team right now. Hornets have not been able to put it together. They've been dealing with some injuries with Ball, and I know Hayward's had some injuries as well. I like the Clippers at the -4. Milwaukee Bucks at the Orlando Magic. The Bucks are 9.5-point favorites. They are minus 450 on the money line. The Magic are plus 350 on the money line. Over under for this game's at 225.5. I like the Milwaukee Bucks here. Bucks have been one of the better teams in the East, even with some of the injuries they've been battling. Orlando has some injuries. They're a young team. They just haven't been able to play consistently yet. So I like the Bucks here at the minus 9.5. Kind of favor the over the 225.5 as well. Next game is the Oklahoma City Thunder at the Atlanta Hawks. The Hawks are 6.5-point favorites at home, minus 240 on the money line. The Thunder are plus 198 on the money line. Over under for this game's at 237.5. I like the Atlanta Hawks in this game. Hawks are the better team. I do kind of like the under the 237.5. I just think that's too many points. Then you have the Boston Celtics at the Toronto Raptors. The Raptors are 1 point favorites at home, minus 122 on the money line. Boston is plus 104 on the money line. Over-unders at 228. I like Boston here on the money line. Boston is 4-1 over the last 5 games. The Raptors are 3-2 over their last 5. I like the Celtics on the money line. I think the Celtics are the better team. Miami Heat at the Memphis Grizzlies. Miami's 4.5 point favorites on the road, minus 184 on the money line. The Grizzlies are plus 154 on the money line. Over-unders at 218.5. I favored the Grizzlies at home at the plus 4.5 in this game. I also like the under the 218.5. Then you have the Philadelphia 76ers at the Houston Rockets. 76ers are 8.5 point favorites, minus 340 on the money line. Over-unders at 221.5. The Rockets are plus 275. Home dogs. I like the 76ers here at the minus 8.5. They will be without James Harden tonight as well. Phoenix Suns at the Dallas Mavericks. The Mavericks are 3 point favorites at home, minus 154 on the money line. The Suns are plus 130 on the money line. Over-unders at 222. I like the Suns here on the road. I think Luka Doncic should be right up there as MVP, but he just don't have enough help. Suns have been playing good basketball. And then the last game of the night, the Indiana Pacers at the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors are 10.5 point favorites, minus 500 on the money line. The Pacers are plus 385 on the money line. Over-unders at 237. I like the over the 237 in this game. I'm not gonna lie, I'd like to take the Pacers. Pacers have been playing pretty good, but against the Warriors, I just think the Warriors are gonna have too much firepower, especially at home. The Warriors struggle on the road, but they play pretty good at home. But I do think this is gonna be a high scoring game. So I like the over the 237.
What was that Boston game you had?
Boston Raptors are 1 point favorites, minus 122 on the money line. Raptors are plus 104 on the money line.
So the Raptors are favorite. So it's Boston plus
1. All right, that's all the NBA games.
Yeah, I've got a parlay for the NBA. I'm going to take Golden State and give up the 10.5 to the Pacers. Pacers the last couple games on the road have not played real well. They did play good against the Lakers, but the last couple they haven't played real well. Golden State's really good at home, so I'm gonna take Golden State minus 10.5. I'm gonna take Philly minus 8.5 at Houston, and then I'm gonna take Boston plus the 1 against the Raptors.
All right. College basketball. Don't have a bunch of games tonight, but there is a few. You got Kennesaw State at Charleston Southern. Kennesaw State's 5.5 point favorites, minus 230 on the money line. Charleston Southern's plus 188. Over-unders at 138.5. I favor Kennesaw State in this game. You got UMass Lowell against LIU. UMass Lowell is a 15.5 point favorite, minus 2,000 on the money line. LIU's plus 980. Over-unders at 145.5. Then you have Albany at UMass. UMass is 14.5 point favorites, minus 1,600 on the money line. Albany's plus 860 on the money line. Over-unders at 139.5. Then you have Gonzaga or Kent State at Gonzaga. Gonzaga's 14.5 point favorites, minus 1,600 on the money line. Kent State's plus 860. Over-unders at 152.5. I like Gonzaga in that game. North Dakota State at Portland. Portland is a 14.5 point favorite, minus 1,300 on the money line. And North Dakota State's plus 760. Over-unders at 151.5. I would favor Portland. And then the last game is Troy at San Diego State University. San Diego State 16.5 point favorites, minus 2,800 on the money line. Troy is plus 980 on the money line. Over-unders at 137.5. I like San Diego State at the minus 16.5.
I've got a parlay for the college basketball, and I went a couple opposite than you did on a couple. I did take low minus the 15.5 at LIU. I've got North Dakota State plus 14.5 at Portland, and I've got Kent State plus 14.5 at Gonzaga.
All right. Do you have any hockey?
Yep, I got NHL. I've got Blues at the Rangers. I'm gonna take the Rangers money line win. This one was tough for me. Vegas is playing the Bruins, but Bruins are 20-3 right now and just hot. And it's at Boston. I'm gonna take the Bruins win money line, and then I've got the Avalanche at the Flyers. I'm gonna take the Avalanche to win money line.
Okay. All right. My picks of the day are going to be NFL Bucks minus 3, and I like the under the 41.5 in that game. In the NBA, I like the Clippers minus 4. Clippers minus 4 against the Hornets on the road. I like the Milwaukee Bucks minus 9.5 against the Orlando Magic. I like the Boston Celtics money line against the Toronto Raptors. 76ers minus the 8.5 against the Rockets. And I like the Pacers and Warriors over the 237. In college basketball tonight, I like Gonzaga minus 14.5 against Kent State. San Diego State minus 16.5 against Troy. And I like Kennesaw State minus 5.5 against Charleston Southern. That's all the picks I have for today.
I'll give mine again real quick. I got Tampa Bay minus 3. College basketball had low minus 15.5 at LIU. I've got North Dakota State minus 14.5, or excuse me, plus 14.5 at Portland. I got Kent State plus 14.5 at Gonzaga. NHL, I've got the Rangers moneyline win against the Blues. I've got Bruins moneyline win against Vegas, and I've got Avalanche moneyline win against the Flyers. NBA, I went with Golden State minus 10.5 against the Pacers. I went with Philly minus 8.5 at Houston, and I went with Boston plus 1 at the Raptors.
All right. I don't know about you, but my picks over the weekend didn't do.
I didn't do real good. I was about 500.
I done pretty good on my Thursday and Friday picks, but my Saturday college football, my Sunday NFL didn't do very good. All right, real quick, I'll recap before we get out of here. Bucks minus 3, over under the under the 41.5 in the NFL game tonight. Like I said earlier, both these teams average scoring just a little, either right at or a little under 20 points a game. They both allow Saints allow over 23 points per game. Bucks allow 18 points per game. So I like the under the 41.5. Bucks to win the cover the minus 3. NBA, I like the Clippers minus 4. Milwaukee Bucks minus 9.5. Boston Celtics money line. 76ers minus 8.5. Pacers Warriors over 237. And in college basketball, Gonzaga minus 14.5. San Diego State minus 16.5, and Kennesaw State minus 5.5. Like I said, went a real big slate of games today. I'm sure there'll be probably a bigger slate tomorrow. Don't have no college football for a few weeks now until you get to the bowl games, getting closer to a couple weeks.
I think they start like December 16th. You know, some of the.
So you got a couple weeks. We'll get you get more college basketball or football. I mean, college basketball is just starting to really get into the middle, get into the heart of their season, and then, of course the NFL is starting to get to the last quarter of the season and get ready for the NFL playoffs. So got a lot of stuff that'll be getting ready to pop off here real soon. We appreciate everybody joining us today. We'll be back tomorrow right around 3:30 with another episode of Easy Money, a sports betting show. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube at Gonzo Sports Room. Like and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, all social media is all at Gonzo Sports Room, and at the All Sports All Plays Network as well. Don't forget we have Horseshoe Talk tonight at 6. Indianapolis Colts show. We'll talk about the blowout loss to the Cowboys last night. And then tonight at 7, we have independent wrestling superfan Marcus Fine. He'll be joining us tonight, making his return to GWR. He hasn't been on for a little over a month or so. So he'll be back on tonight, talk about some of the shows he's been to here recently. I know they set a record for a number of shows in 1 year.
Yeah, he's still going to add to it, but I think he's about 66, I think.
Yeah, I think right around 66, 60, 65, 66
shows right now.
Shows for the year. So we'll talk to him tonight. And then tomorrow night we have Walter Buckley. He's a wrestling promoter. He does ring announcing, management, and does a lot of different things in the wrestling business. But he's going to talk about a big show he's promoting this on the December 17th, Thunder Blunder 4. So he'll be on tomorrow at 6 o'clock to talk to us about that big show coming up. He has a real good card for that show. You can pre-order tickets now. If you'd like to get tickets, go check out the Thunder Blunder on Facebook, and you can find where you can get tickets at. Plus, you'll be able to buy them at the door as well. But he has a great card for that weekend. So
yeah, fantastic.
If you don't have any plans, I'd highly recommend and you're a pro wrestling fan, go check it out. Should be a great show. It's at the Emerson Theater in Indianapolis on December 17th. But like I said, we'll be back at 6 o'clock with the Horseshoe Talk, and then tonight 7 o'clock with Marcus Fine, and then at 11 p.m. Eastern tonight, Gonzo and the Judge Sports Talk. So still got a lot of stuff going on today. But we'll see you guys tomorrow with another episode of Easy Money, a sports betting show. Have a great day.